Welcome everyone to the Best Damn Survivor podcast on YouTube. We're the Survivor Buffs. I'm Dave. With me as always is my mom.
Hello.
So, let's just get right into it. Kind of broad terms without giving any spoilers away. What did you think of the episode?
Well, it was interesting.
Better than last week's.
Well, and they highlighted different people this time. Right? Yeah, I don't know. It was good.
I enjoyed it more than last week's. So we're going to be discussing I'm Survivor Rich, which is kind of one of my favorite titles to an episode since last season's Betrayed Are. So obviously the first question is, who says the title of the episode?
Well, that would be Drea.
It sure would be Drea. We were talking about this at the end of last week's episode, that we thought it was Tori that reads out the message. And I did some research on this because I remember being like, no, it says Tori reads it out. I go back and rewatch like the last week's, Next Time on Survivor. It's Drea's voice. It shows Tori reading it, but it's Drea's voice.
Oh,
we just assumed it was Tori's voice, but no, Tori she gets eventually shown it, but it is Drea's voiceover in the trailer.
It is Drea's, and she is Survivor Rich.
I don't think I've ever seen a Survivor this rich since Tony, maybe. Russell,
yeah, Tony, or maybe even not Joe. Who's the other buff guy?
What? Malcolm?
More than one.
Malcolm, right? Malcolm. Yeah.
Malcolm was a little Survivor Rich, but I don't think this rich.
That's a good point. So this episode again starts with my favorite thing is the night after, or the night as soon as they get back from Tribal Council.
Yep.
Roxroy was left out of the vote, and he is realizing it in real time on camera.
Isn't he though?
Oh, man.
He
my social game isn't good. We're like, yeah, thank you, Rox. You finally get it.
You could almost see the light bulb going on above his head, eh?
Yeah.
He was like,
maybe my social game isn't that great. Yeah, we've been watching it for 3 episodes, Rox. It's not great.
No.
Stop complaining about the fire and start trying to make alliances.
Yeah. Quit telling people what to do. Quit getting on Romeo's nerves. Quit,
Yeah.
being you.
So, that's kind of really all there is to talk about with Ika Tribe before it goes to Taku. And this is one of my favorite parts of the episode, unless there's anything more you have to say on Ika.
I don't know. Tori, when they're all sitting there, okay, she's doing her faces and doing her thing. And I don't know, her, Romeo, and Drea came up with a plan. It worked. Just be happy. Why is she out all of a sudden? She's immediately already, that guy's got to go because he's just annoying. And she's talking about Roxroy. I'm like, you know what? Your plan worked. Go to sleep. Get up in the morning and then think about it.
The game never sleeps.
For me.
The game never sleeps. The minute you think you've got 8 hours to yourself at night, that's when you let a ball fall off a podium, or you slip off where you've been balancing for 6 hours. You just
maybe.
I do understand where Tori's coming from, but yeah, she is immediately just assuming they're going to lose the next challenge, and she wants Roxroy out. They seem skeptical of Roxroy maybe flipping if there was a merge. By the way, a lot of merge talk in this episode. Anyway,
a lot of merge talk.
They all seem to think Roxroy would flip, and I'm like, out of anyone on Ika, I bet you Tori would flip before Roxroy would flip, and it doesn't seem like anyone else notices this. But
okay, wait for 2 seconds here. Do you remember what my predictions were last week, or should we do that later? Let's do that later.
Okay.
Let's do that later. Okay. Let's talk about that later.
Foreshadowing.
Anyway, on to Taku Day 10.
On to Taku Tribe. Oh my god. Love this part. Do you want to I'll let you fill the watchers in, or the viewers.
Jonathan, poor Jonathan. The look on his face was just so funny. We all laughed. Marianne and Lindsay, how did Jonathan do it? He didn't even do blah blah blah. He just went num 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 num.
Yeah. He just said words. Blah, 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 blah. It wasn't even coherent. Like it wasn't even blah 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 or yada yada. But he just sort of made noises.
He just made up his own little saying for that, and I think it's going to catch on. It was just hilarious. But I think that's what he was hearing, that little sound he made. I think that's all he literally heard when they were just laughing at each other.
So you're saying it was a dead-on impersonation based on what you think is in Jonathan's head?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
For sure.
I was trying to write down that survivor's name, and I hate that I forgot her name, but it was Lindsay. So Marianne and Lindsay are just yapping away.
Yes, about ridiculous things.
I know.
It was like they just wanted to hear their own voices.
Yeah, because Jonathan gets up and goes, "Where's my canteen?" And Lindsay and Marianne decide the hot and cold. And then they're going to stop playing hot and cold and debate how you play hot and cold. Yeah. Jonathan just had to get out of there and go fishing.
Well, I don't blame him. I would have.
Well, last week I remember saying, I was like, why has no one fished yet? I know Taku Tribe got a bunch of fish in the challenge, but I'm like, don't they already have fishing gear? Is no one catching fish for them?
Okay, maybe we just didn't see it because Jonathan looked like he's done this before, whether in real life or out there, but he didn't look like he was new to this.
Yeah.
Right.
What did you think about Jonathan and Marianne's altercation while Jonathan was chopping wood?
I think Marianne walked into that. I certainly wouldn't go towards somebody that had an axe in their hand or a machete. It's her own fault she got her toe stomped in the first place. But I was amazed. Jonathan had a very good point. What did he say? 6 something tall and 250 pounds picking on a 5 foot nothing girl?
Yeah, I can't be seen doing that. I'm done if I yell at her. She can be the most annoying person on the planet, and I can't say anything because it just the optics are that bad.
Yeah, but he actually did it. He totally kept his cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he just sort of and I like how he played it off at the end when they actually shows them having the conversation of, look, you can't be coming at me when I'm swinging the machete. And she was like, being Marianne. And he's like, I can't stay mad at you, and taps her on the shoulder and goes, I'm sorry, and walks by. I'm like, that is not what he's thinking in his head. He just he played it off very chill in that moment. I was like, that's the way to do it. Marianne's fine. She'll forget about it. She'll start talking about a cake 5 minutes later or something. A bug will be crawling on her. She'll forget about it. She's got the memory of a goldfish, it seems like. So, yeah.
But I love the way he did that. There's a lot of players when they're doing their talking head that are like, okay, I know I need to do this. And then 5 minutes later, they go totally
everything's out the window. They spill the rice. They
never even said it. And he actually followed through. So somewhere in there is a brain.
He is smart. But I feel like this little view into the Taku Tribe is almost like he's only useful in challenges. Like he's just waiting around camp, annoyed by everyone, just waiting for his chance to perform. And then he's just back at camp being like, man, I hate listening to these people talk. And then suddenly when it comes to challenge, they're like, Jonathan, do it all, please. Yeah, and he just sits at camp annoyed all the time.
But he's also catching fish.
It's a good point. He did come away with some fish.
He's making sure he eats, making sure he can do those challenges. He is going to be, if nobody takes him out before the merge, that boy is going to set way records on challenges, individual challenges. I don't think there's anything he can lose.
Well, when it comes to individual challenges, how good is he at balancing? How good is he at puzzles all by himself? How good is he? You know what I mean? He's not.
Oh, I think
when it comes to the individual challenges, they level the playing field with those challenges pretty okay.
No, I think he's going to do it.
If any of them involve swimming, he's got it. If any of them involve strength, he's got it.
No, I think he's got agility. I think he's got I think he'd do well in balance. Puzzles are the only
concern. If I'm betting on him and Omar in the same individual challenge, who's going to get the puzzle first? I'm betting man here going to go with Omar.
Oh, I don't know. After this episode, I'm not too sure about that.
To be fair, I feel like Jonathan could beat like Mike in a puzzle challenge, or maybe Lydia in a puzzle challenge. So
I don't know. I think he might be able to take Omar.
we'll have to see it.
Well, I'm always doing these crazy calls, but it's up there. I said it.
Jonathan will outlast Omar. Wow.
Not outlast, but he will beat
outperform Omar in a puzzle. Okay.
Yeah. Gonna throw that out there.
Okay, leave comments down below if you agree or disagree. I'm not gonna do my normal shtick. I think I do like that catchphrase, but I'll save it for later.
Okay.
Then we go to the Vadi tribe.
Yes.
And they're the first tribe that actually says the word merge in the episode. They are just praying for a merge, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Yeah,
so, they are. Speaking of fishing. Okay. Daniel decides, I got this. It's Survivor. Enjoy yourself. It's calming to go out and fish. He even said it was more of snorkeling than really fishing, but he just he wanted the experience of floating through the water trying to be Joe or Malcolm or Rupert or whatever. Yeah.
And I get that. But when you're the one sitting out of every challenge because you can't swim because of your shoulder, and now all of a sudden you're out in the water for like an hour floating around, come back and go, oh, it was quite relaxing.
Yeah, but it's not like he was racing for immunity. He was on like a lazy river. That doesn't count as really swimming. He even said he was snorkeling. No. It's not like he was swinging his arms like paddling. Like,
yeah,
but I didn't know. I didn't know he was sitting out of all these challenges because they made it sound like he said I can't swim.
Yeah. Okay.
And I didn't, and I don't think they've showed him in like any talking head prior to this being like, yeah, I'm sitting out because I can't swim. He doesn't mention it himself. His whole tribe is like, we're protecting you by sitting you out so you don't look like a weakling when it comes to the merge because we want the numbers. But yeah, it was just sort of a weird thing they haven't mentioned before.
I have a question for you, Dave.
Okay.
Do you remember, and I'm sure you do, every time at a challenge, Jeff would say, and who's sitting this one out? Remember, you can't sit a person out in back-to-back challenges.
Yeah.
Daniel sat them all out. He's the only one that sat out on that tribe. Yep.
Let's see. You can't sit out back-to-back ones. You can't sit out back-to-back ones. So there must have been ones he competed in.
And Jeff doesn't say it at the challenges.
No, that can't be right. He's just been allowed to sit out every single one of Vadi's challenges?
Yeah, when hasn't he?
I'm really trying to think now that I really think about it.
I know. Yeah.
Wait, did he sit out both of them in this? Really?
He did. He did.
Okay, so there's that challenge. Oh, right. There was only the one challenge in this one.
But Jeff doesn't say that anymore. He doesn't say, keep in mind, you can't.
I'm pretty sure he said that last episode to someone, but interesting. I'll have to go back. I'll have to go back and look. But yeah, Daniel's been sitting out every one he could. It seemed like every one involving swimming, he's been sitting out. Fair enough. So the whole tribe, while Daniel's out fishing, is just go, hey, isn't it funny that Daniel's fishing when he can't swim? Isn't that funny?
Yeah. And they're all talking about how they're carrying him.
Yeah. Yeah, I really. That's yeah. They really. Oh, I don't. They gave Daniel a certain edit in this episode. I'll say that.
Yeah.
So it comes back from a commercial break, and then we go right back to Ika Tribe, where
Yes,
Drea
we
and
do.
Romeo. What?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, Drea and Romeo decide, hey, why haven't we idol hunted? We should probably go idol hunting, right? And it's like, yeah, okay. So they go idol
Finally,
hunting.
finally, how long did that take?
It happens. It finally happened, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm like, are you kidding me? It's about freaking time.
So Drea finds the third beware advantage in the 3-phrase idol. Do you love how she just opened it without even? She was like, "Beware! You must do what it
Like,
says."
beware.
Okay, whatever. Just go to the next. Oh, I don't have a vote. What? I have to
Bummer.
say this potato line. Like she's reading like until this is said, you cannot vote. And then Romeo was like, "Wait, what? Repeat that last part." And Drea's like,
Wait, what?
"Oh yeah, hold on. It does. I can't vote. What?" And oh man, their face, and they both realize that. That has become my new favorite thing on Survivor, when a survivor reads the beware advantage and that until then you cannot vote. Oh,
And they
their
just
face.
keep reading, and all of a sudden they go back and go, what?
What was that about voting? I saw the V word somewhere on this parchment. Oh, it says like can't. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, this is where Drea says the I'm Survivor Rich. She has an extra vote. She's got the 3-phrase beware advantage, whatever you want to call it. And she has, what else does she have?
She has the amulet from
the amulet, right? And the other amulet holders are Hai and Lindsay.
Yes.
Okay.
Now she is even more rich than that, because when they both realized that she didn't have a vote, Romeo immediately said, "Oh, I'll be your vote."
She also has an extra vote, so she's like, I can just give you my extra vote and you can vote for me, and that way it's like you're voting on my behalf. So but technically we still have 2 votes between us.
Romeo will vote her way.
Oh yeah, Drea's got a number
she's
1
got
now.
The beware, she's got the extra vote, and she's got the amulet. So really, she has 4.
Drea and Romeo. Oh yeah, if you're counting Romeo as an advantage, yeah. If you're counting Romeo as an extra vote, yeah, she's got 4. Yeah,
literally Survivor Rich.
Very fair point. Yeah, I don't think Tori realizes that Romeo is Drea's best friend instead of her. No idea.
I mean, she knows they're close. I just don't think she knows how close.
So then, like, the way this show was edited, or this episode was edited, is they really kind of built around the 3-phrase thing. So it immediately cuts back to Vaughty Tribe, and Mike and everyone is discussing, hey, should I say my phrase or not? And it was kind of an interesting discussion. Everyone was like, no, don't say it. Like, don't say it. Just don't. Okay. It's an easy call. And I was like, wow, is this going to actually not happen? Like, Mike seems really steadfast.
Now, here's another Survivor first that I know of. Okay. If you look at everybody that has an idol, like Mike, or Beware, Mike's whole team knows, right?
Right. Same with like Xander last season.
Marianne has one. Her whole team knows. Right. Yeah, they do. Right. Yeah. Okay. When has that ever happened? Like,
well, last season, everyone knew, is because the problem is everyone on their individual team found out who couldn't vote, because you go to a tribal council and it's like, why wasn't there enough votes? Oh, because Xander doesn't have a vote. What do you mean Xander doesn't have a vote? And every tribe went through a form of that, which is interesting because last season, and that actually didn't happen now that I think about it, Luvu, the blue team, didn't know Nasir had his 3rd phrase when he said his ghost on AstroTurf line.
Yeah.
Not many people knew he had it.
No.
Oh, no. His own tribe knew he had it. That's why he got voted off, didn't he? He got blindsided because everyone knew he had it.
I think it was just annoying.
Fair enough. I'm doing too much work around camp, catching everyone papayas. Anyway.
But I
So
like the way
yeah,
we had a discussion about it.
See, okay. I was very worried when I saw that scene. I was very much like, really, Mike's gonna deprive me of this Survivor moment just because he wants to keep it a secret. I'm like, everyone knows, man. Everyone knows.
Yeah, but the thing is, once the other two are said that you gotta say yours because, I mean, how could you not?
Right. As soon as the other two were said, oh God. Okay. Well, we'll get to that in a second because it goes to another commercial break.
Yeah.
And then obviously I actually preemptively, like as I'm watching the episode and I'm taking my notes, when it hits a commercial, I open my phone and start taking my notes. I'm like, challenge time. Just because I know as soon as we get back from the commercial, it's going to be an immunity challenge.
Yeah.
Nailed it this time.
Nailed it.
I do appreciate when they bring all the tribes in, right? Come on in. That Marianne has figured out a way to kind of organically say her line. She just has to act shocked as to who went home. And then she just goes, it reminds me again, Jeff, about the tale of the rabbit in the mailbox or whatever her phrase is.
Yeah, I know.
But she finds a way to organically work it in and she continues talking after she says it. I'm like, wow, you don't sound crazy at all, Marianne. Like
crazy, so what does it matter?
And then it finally happens. Drea says her phrase because Drea's like, oh, wait. Because Drea even said when she found it, she's like, that's what Marianne's talking about, the rabbit thing. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So they both say the phrase, and then and I actually wrote in my notes, ... And then Mike finally says it.
Well, and did you see Drea and Marianne stare at the team in the middle waiting for the phrase? They're like, okay,
oh, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, you found it, right? You must have found it by now. This is day 10. Come on, you found it by now. Yeah.
Right? I know.
That's why I liked Marianne when she first found her. She's like, I'm saying the phrase and no one's found it. Come on, guys, pick up your game.
Where are you? Yeah. But I like it because Mike waited like a split second. Jeff was about to start the challenge, and all of a sudden he goes, wait a minute, Jeff.
He almost didn't. What? Yeah, how did you think he disguised his line?
I thought he did a good job. I can't remember exactly how he brought it in, but I thought he did a good job.
I thought Drea's this episode was very hilarious. No one's questioning that she found a potato.
No one's
going to address that. Jeff doesn't even question it. Where did you find a potato? Come on, Drea.
Yeah, I had a potato the other day and I was going to peel it. And then I realized, I'm like, what? Okay. That sounds natural.
Well, like, I understand she's trying to say the potato line, but I'm just like, where, like, no follow-ups on this at all about the potato thing? None? Come on.
I hear ya.
Like, Marianne, where are you on that one? You guys have potatoes on your part of the island? Like, come on. It's right there.
Some kind of comment there.
I know, right? So Jeff talks about, or he's about to get into the reward of besides immunity. He has some bad news for the tribes. What's the bad news again? The reward is not food.
Oh, right, because they all wanted food.
Jeff's about to remove the covering he puts over the table right beside him, and they're all like, grilled cheese sandwiches, popcorn, stew, cooked food. They go so low as their only requirement is cooked food. Like, they're like, we want cake, we want nachos. Just give us something we can go back to our camp and eat and not have to put on a fire for an hour. Just like, the fish was great, Jeff, but can we just have something already cooked,
Yeah.
Bad news is it's not food, though. They're all super disappointed for about 3 seconds. And then Jeff goes, it's a tarp and a slightly smaller tarp. And
they're like, oh, that's good.
I don't know if Jeff could have mentioned anything like when he said bad news and he went to reveal it. I'm like, wait, if it's not food, like he's already given them fishing gear. I was like, if it's gonna be like shampoo and soap, I'm gonna be, or like coffee, I'm gonna like, that's stupid. So the fact that a tarp is worth like that much in emotional like weight.
Okay, I had a flashback to the old food challenges. I pictured a whole table of slugs that they had to eat before they started the challenge. That's what I pictured.
Oh man, I remember I was watching one of the older seasons. I can't remember what season it was. It was in the first 10. I want to say it was like 8 or 9. And the Survivor auction that year had things like a Dorito chip, like a Oreo cookie. Like it's amazing when you go back watch some of those earlier seasons. Some of the Survivor auctions were just ridiculous.
Brutal. I
Brutal.
miss the auctions. I do miss them.
I want them to bring them back. There's 2 things that they don't do anymore that I want to bring back. A, Survivor auctions, and B, the
Family visits.
no, the something of the fallen tribe members walk where they find the torches
Oh,
of everyone that got voted out and reminisce about them and stuff like that.
I miss the family visits, but I get why they don't do it.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll
Thank
come
you.
back next season or something.
Thank you, COVID.
Yeah. Thanks, COVID.
Thanks, COVID.
So what did you think of the show? This was very interesting.
Now, here's why. Here's exactly why I'm pretty sure Jonathan can beat Omar at a puzzle.
So the challenge starts with essentially a slide puzzle with kind of braided rope attached to 3 pieces of the slide puzzle, and you had to slide it around to unbraid the rope to drop a key from the top. And wow, Omar just became a vessel for Lindsay. She was just like, move that piece there, that piece has to go down. They fell behind quick.
I was scared. I thought, okay, that's it. They're not going to win this one.
Jonathan's
I
face the
really
whole
did.
time, Jonathan was just pacing. He could not do anything. He just had to stand there and be like, I sure hope my brain shield can figure this out. And
Yeah.
the more and more I watch, the more and more like, please don't let it be Omar tonight. Oh no, not
I know, right?
Omar. I
I
want that
know.
ostrich shirt in the
I
game
know,
for
right?
the rest of the game.
I know. I know.
Shout out,
I was scared.
shout out to his wicked sweet ostrich shirt. It's amazing. I don't
Yes, it
think I've
is.
ever seen a shirt that great on Survivor in a long time. That's so good.
No,
That'd be
no.
like I can't
Rupert
remember
side eye.
her. Shambo. Shambo had like a wolf t-shirt. I
Oh, she
remember
did.
once. So it's up there. It's up there with great
Yeah,
t-shirts.
it is. It is. But
Um
I don't Omar just fell apart literally. Like, and I thought, is he trying to throw it? Like, that thought went through my mind too. And I thought, why would he do that? Didn't make any sense to me, but
yeah, why would he who would he be trying to get out? Marianne or Lindsay? It wouldn't make sense for him to lose it. I think it's just day 10 fatigue is sunk in all at once.
yeah, unless it was because I like my little off the wall theories, maybe it was some mad scientist plan to get Jonathan out before the merge. Did you ever think of that? Yeah, I'll just make sure we don't win this, and then I'll talk to the girls and make them realize
If
what a threat Jonathan is. I don't know.
if that's the case, and it is possible, and they just edited that talking head out of the show, it is entirely
Probably.
possible. If that's the case, Omar is the dumbest player on Survivor
Yes.
because they're all talking about merge this episode, and even gets brought up at one point a bit later, going into the merge with right. There's one tribe that has 5, the other 2 tribes have 4, and it becomes a bit of a talking point a bit later. So it's if I doubt it, but if that's the case, oh, you're an idiot, Omar.
Yeah.
So that's actually where I got my screenshot for kind of around us here. You see, it's Drea shooting for Ika, and you have Vadi in the background
Yeah.
shooting, and there's no Taku to be found. They are
No,
still unraveling their key.
they are.
And I'm pretty sure this is taken, the screenshot is taken from where Drea makes the kind of winning shot here. But Ika comes out ahead, and then Taku, not out of nowhere, but out of very far behind, end up coming away with it.
Gets the key. Jonathan grabs the key, undoes the machete. Wham! Done.
One swing. Swing.
Did you think that
even Mike took 2 or 3? But
I know it was like wham! Done. He was angry at that point. He needed to get moving. Okay.
I'm surprised Jonathan didn't just break the whole board.
I know. So they all get their, little thingies up
sandbags.
There. Yeah. The sandbags, and Jonathan whap. Right.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, and then actually I was just about to type into my phone, oh, commercial break. And then it's like, oh no, Ika, because they won, have a choice to make.
Yes, they do.
They get to pick a member from Vadi because they were the losing tribe to go on a journey, and they can pick a member from their tribe and someone else on Taku to go on this journey. Who do they pick?
Lydia and Roxroy went.
As soon as I heard that, I wrote commercial break in my phone because I'm like, okay, now it's a commercial break. But I was like, I'm really excited to see this. I am really excited to see this journey. And it did not disappoint. It gave me exactly what I expected, but I wish it had a little bit more. But it was what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it actually, my notes here, it cuts back to the Vadi tribe. So let's kind of do them really quickly.
Wait a second. You skipped over the commercial break. Okay.
Yeah, I put in commercial break.
Well, okay. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I have a remote. I record my episodes. I have my grandson and my daughter over to watch it with me. And normally I will take the remote and fast forward through commercials. Okay. Every time I do that, because my remote is old and I need new batteries, when I hit play, it doesn't always play. I end up rewinding. Okay. My grandson is like, Grandma, you did it again. Okay. So anyway, they're both fed up. As a result, I took the remote this time. I put it in between them and I said, if anybody would like to fast forward, please do. My grandson says, well, I think we should just talk about Survivor during the commercials and there should be no fast forwarding. I was like,
oh, he's a smart kid. All
right. Okay. So that particular commercial was.
Hold on. I have to make us eventually for next week's episode. I want you to keep doing this. I'm gonna make an intro for this. It's gonna be like commercial tidbits from the group watch. I'm gonna make it a thing. This is a good segment. I like this idea. Please continue.
Okay, so the commercial was about Survivor. It was a scene with Tony and Sarah. Okay, so anyway,
Cops Are Us. Shout out.
Jess and I start talking about it and how many times did they play and blah, blah, blah. Of course, Liam is sitting there totally confused going, who, what, who are those people? Because he hasn't seen the episode. So we start talking about it anyway. We ended up having this discussion about how many times Sarah played, how many times Tony played. And
technically 3 for Tony. No. Hold on.
How many times did Sarah play?
Wait, hold on.
You can do it.
Tony has won twice. Sarah's won once. Tony's played 3 times and Sarah's played twice. That's my just based off my memory.
Okay, you know what? No, you're wrong.
Tony's only played twice?
Sarah and Tony both played
3?
Wait for it. They both played season 28, season 34, and season 40. Yeah, you can sit there
because they were
speechless.
in the
That is
same
true.
tribe they were in the same season every time.
Yes.
They never played without each other. I forgot. I'm like, Sarah's won once,
That's right.
Tony's won once, Tony's won twice. I just assumed they're on. Damn it. Okay.
I know.
So was this like a debate that took up a whole 3 minutes, and it was just you both had to pull out Google, or?
Well, no, the commercial ended and we never did figure it out. So in the morning, of course, when I get up, I immediately start my research and text Jess, giving her the answer. And all she said back was, wow. I don't know if that's because I did that first thing in the morning or she was shocked at, yeah, anyway.
I legit only thought Tony and Sarah Cops R Us was only on the one season they played together and then Winners at War. I didn't know they
Remember,
played a second time together.
season 28 was when Tony backstabbed her and got her voted out and he won.
That's Brains, Brawn, Beauty.
Okay, and season 34, which I don't remember the title, Sarah
that was
won.
It was an All-Stars one. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sarah won that one.
Yeah. Yeah, Cops R Us. Yeah.
So
that's the one with the legacy advantage that Cherie tried to steal. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, and then 40, we know what happened in 40. They both made it to the end, but anyway.
I mean, a lot of people might hate me saying this, but I would say two heads that are definitely on the Survivor Mount Rushmore is Tony and Sandra. Come at me.
Yeah.
TalkingSurvivor@gmail.com. If you want to disagree, it's hard to argue both of them won twice. You can say what you want about, Sandra's first game or the Spy Shack. You can say what you want. They won twice. They won twice.
I have a lot of respect for the Spy Shack.
Oh, what about the Spy Bunker? What about? Oh man, what was the third one? He did a third one too. There was the tree one where he's hiding in a tree. Yeah.
Hiding in the tree. Yeah. Anyway, that was my commercial break. But
that's
now
awesome.
we are back to
commercial break debate. We'll call it that. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Body Day 11.
Yeah. So Chanel and Daniel are feeling the heat.
Daniel more than Chanel, but yes, they are. She's quieter. She knows it in her head, but she's not voicing it as much as Daniel. She is going and talking to people and kind of feeling people out and doing her best, but she doesn't seem to be as rattled by it as Daniel.
Well, that's actually an interesting way of looking at it. I kind of didn't really notice that. All I remember from that kind of couple scenes is that Daniel tries to do and I hate it when players do this. I hope I'd never do this if I'm on the show, but this whole addressing the tribe as a whole, like he did it after he got back from tribal council, where he's like, I kind of don't want to discuss it right now. I just want to go to bed. And even today or this episode or day 10 or wherever we're on, I think it's 11 at this point. 11. He's like, look, I just want a chance to talk about everything one-on-one with everybody. And I just think it's kind of a tacky thing to do, but I guess if you don't say it and then end up doing it, it like looks like you're being sneaky. But I just think it's a tacky thing to be like, hey guys, we're gonna be all scrambling. Let's just all get it out in the open. I'm like,
I think the day before or during the day of tribal council, that's a given. It's going to happen. People are going to be talking. You're right. I don't think you need to tell the whole tribe, hey, I want to talk to y'all. That's a fact. It's going to happen.
Yeah, when you say out loud to your tribe, like, I know my name's been thrown out there. I know I'm on the chopping block. I just want a chance to plead my case.
It's like, pick me, boot me out.
Yeah, but like, I guess it's like you're being like desperate, but at the same time, you're also trying to convey that you kind of aren't an idiot. You know what's going on, but I don't know. I just think it's the only word I can think of is tacky. and I don't know how else to describe it. There has to be a better word, but it feels like tacky, cliche gameplay, and you shouldn't be in that position if you're good enough. But
I just want to give everybody my take on those discussions, okay? Because
okay.
I had a hard time following this. I really had to stop, rewind, go back, try and figure it all out. Now, what I wrote down was that Chanel and Mike talked, and they were going to vote Daniel.
Obviously.
Okay.
Yep.
And then Hai and Mike talked, and they want to vote Chanel out along, like, with Lydia, right? They're going to
because Hai thinks he's got Daniel figured out frontwards and backwards. Right. Yeah.
So now we have Mike voting Daniel, voting Chanel. Okay. And then we have Daniel and Hai wanting to vote Chanel, which makes sense because obviously Daniel doesn't. I mean, who's he going to vote for? Now, Hai has told 2 people that he's voting Chanel. Okay. And what happens in the actual vote didn't make any sense to me with everything that I heard.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I could yeah, their editing of this scene was a little bit lazy when you look at the end result, but I think they were just trying to throw the audience off the scent of anybody. They were just like, it could be Daniel, it could be Chanel.
Yeah.
That's it. They were just trying to create that like confusion. But yeah, it's Hai said a lot of things that he didn't end up following through on that I thought was kind of weird. But
Chanel voted for Mike.
That was a weird one. Yeah. Yeah, and we'll get to that because now, okay, so now we can get to the journey. Probably my second favorite part of the episode, Roxroy and Lydia's journey.
Oh, the journey.
Well, that's what they call it. Players have called it a summit island. I think Daniel say earlier on in the episode or something. Right. So I do appreciate, like, as much as I give Roxroy a hard time, and I'd be really surprised if he makes it to top 3, let alone wins. But I did appreciate, as he's doing the walk with Lydia, looking around and seeing the scenery, being like, next time you're having a rough day, just flash back to this moment, Lydia. Like, this is a once in a lifetime kind of thing. And I'm like, there's one thing I will say about Roxroy is he's really kind of soaking it in. So much so that his social game is losing, and he's maybe being too much of a control freak around camp, but he is going to remember this entire however many days he lasts for the rest of his life. Okay, and I appreciate that.
He's a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
So he's a homemaker.
Sure.
So at camp, that's his job. Like he has to keep doing what he's doing. He's not adapting well to
socially.
Anyway, shape.
I don't think in challenges he's doing that bad. I don't think he's doing things around camp. He's just not
doing a lot around camp. He's the kind of guy that you want to keep around, literally throw on your back, carry to the end, so that you can win the game.
He's a Philip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I personally call Philip. The actual name is a goat, but yeah, Philip was a goat. Come at me in the comments down below. I'll tell you why you're wrong. But or like, what was last season? Who was the goat last season? Heather was the goat last season. Heather had no shot at winning. Come on now.
No. And I don't think, Roxroy, he is the goat this year.
Yeah. Same color tribe too as Heather. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I wonder. But I was a little surprised. Well, actually, now that I just say that out loud, not surprised. I was hoping Roxroy would risk his vote. I wanted to see him make some kind of a move because he knew Lydia was going to protect hers.
Well, here's the interesting about Lydia and Roxroy's conversation is they just played up the straight up played poker against each other and didn't show their hand. They played their cards very close to the chest. Like Roxroy and Lydia come out of a room talking for 10 minutes and they're like, I don't really know that guy. I don't know what he's thinking. He kind of didn't tell me much. And then it shows Lydia being like, yeah, I didn't really tell him much either. So they had kind of no information to go on making this choice.
I don't know. Listening to their conversation, because again, commercial break, I'm like, oh, she's gonna protect, he's gonna risk.
Because Lydia lied and said she was on the chopping block. So, yeah. I mean, if Roxroy was maybe a little bit more, let's say, risky or bold, he might have. But she told him, she's like, I'm on the chopping block, even though she wasn't, and he still didn't do it.
No. Unfortunate, but what do you do?
Fair enough. So the next part I've written down here, Lydia returns and has to catch up on like 8 hours of action. Everything you just said about this person voted this person, and then this person voted this person, and this person was talking about voting this. Now Lydia has to be informed in all of that.
Yeah. The poor girl.
I know, right? She is very close to this season's. I would say she's this season's. Oh my God! Last year's winner. Oh Erica. My God! With Erica, she's this season's Erica, I think. Because she's kind of been ignored most of the season. I haven't seen too many talk. Like this is the most I've heard Erica in a talking head.
Not Erica.
Season. Not Erica. Lydia.
But okay, yeah. But can we get into actual tribal?
Okay, then we'll go right into it. So, well, first, so we go right into tribal here. So I'll let you take it away. I'm assuming you've got something on the burner here.
Well, no, it's just that, okay, it goes back to how Lydia had to catch up on everything, right? Because she gets asked, how are you basing your vote? What's most important to you? Right. And without hesitation, I mean, she was obviously up to speed because came out with a very nice little blurb about how trust is the main thing.
Trust. Yeah, that's the word of the day in this tribal council, boys and girls, trust.
And they kind of showed a shot of Chanel looking extremely worried.
Yep.
Because she knows she's not trustworthy.
Yeah, they even did a talking head last week's episode where she's like, yeah, do I know I screwed up with Daniel? Of course, but I can't say that to people or else people would hear me say that. Like it's like she knows she is the most blatant kind of politicker, but I feel like Daniel's better with his words, so he sounds more like a politician. When Daniel goes off on a speech, Hai is like, he can talk circles around us. Where it's like, no, Chanel is sneakier. She just can't use her words as well as Daniel can. Daniel's a lawyer.
Wannabe.
So what did you think about everyone's discussion about trust? Because essentially Jeff talks to every single one of them. Like, how do you define trust? Can you trust everyone? And I think Hai is like, somebody's being lied to. Right? Somebody's being lied to. That's the God's honest truth at every tribal council. Yeah. Whoever's getting voted out, trust me, got told that day you're safe.
And how did Jeff put it? Something about because he went to Chanel and he said, so Chanel, listening to everybody, I'm just going to assume that the person that gets voted out tonight is the least trustworthy.
Yes.
And she is like, well, Jeff, if that's what they're all talking about and this is the way we're doing it, yes, Jeff. Yes, I agree with that.
What did you think? I kind of made a point of writing this down. They're talking to Mike about on the people on his tribe and who does he trust. And he's like, as soon as someone gets voted out tonight, doesn't matter. They're my family till the end. And Jeff is like, you have to vote someone out. What do you mean they're family? And then Daniel, and I really think this is my conspiracy theory. I think Daniel had this 100% planned as he said it. He tried to suck up to Mike and be like, what Mike meant to say was that even after this game is over, I still expect a Christmas card from this guy. And Mike's like, yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then Chanel is like, oh, Daniel's playing to Mike's soft spot here. Why is no one else seeing this? And there's a hint in Daniel's face where he's like, she is good. She caught that. Damn.
Yeah.
She's counting the cards in the deck. She knows the next card's a jack. Like, knows it.
Yeah.
So do you think that was intentional? Do you think because Daniel played it off as I'm just a nice guy?
I don't think Daniel's smart enough to pull a move like that.
Really? You think he was just being genuine and Chanel was just going for the throat?
Well, either that or it came to him very quickly and he blurted it out and then all of a sudden thought, uh-oh.
Maybe. I personally like to live in a world where I hope Daniel's that smart. That's the world I want to live in.
All right.
The sky outside is purple, but Daniel's smart, so I don't care. So, I mean, that's kind of the only real notable thing was I did kind of want to, if Daniel was trying to be sly there and play to Mike's soft spot, he did a good job. Chanel wasn't there. He would have got away with it too if it wasn't for that meddling Chanel. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you honestly think the vote was going to go?
Chanel.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Because I keep thinking back to what Hai mentioned earlier. It's like the devil you know versus the devil you don't. And he made this point to Mike where he's like, at least Daniel I can read. He's got no backbone. I know he's a snake. With Chanel, it's like I can't read her. She's got like a deadpan expression. And so when Hai said that, like Hai and Mike are running the Vadi tribe, running the show. Lydia's not calling the shots. Chanel's not calling shots. Daniel wasn't calling the shots. It's those two. And so when they had their discussion, when Hai was like, yeah, I just don't trust her. Daniel, I trust 1% more, and that's enough. I was like, and I remember thinking, that is a very good assumption, Hai. Like you are reading the situation correctly.
Yes.
And then,
And then the vote happens.
Okay, so, the first vote happens. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
We get 2 for Chanel, 2 for Daniel, and 1 for Mike. I had the same reaction on my face as Mike did when I saw that.
We all sat there and went, what?
Mike, who voted Mike?
What?
Because in my head, I'm thinking, Chanel wouldn't have voted Mike, would she? And I'm like, Daniel wouldn't have voted Mike.
While you're in shock, Jeff is going on about, it's a tie. Let's revote. Here, take this. Go do it. And the second vote starts. And I'm still sitting there going, who voted for Mike?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Whenever there's a situation like this, don't they give the team a chance to discuss?
No, that's only after the second vote before they go to Rock.
Oh, they have to come unanimous decision after the second vote. Okay. I feel like this might have also been a commercial commercial debate.
I know.
But yeah, so the revote and I haven't seen this in a while. They only read out 2 votes. The third vote does not count. They didn't read out 3. They just read out 2 for Daniel, and we're like, the third vote doesn't matter.
There was only 3 people voting, so once 2 come out.
No, but are you not a little curious as to what that third vote was?
Oh, you didn't watch?
They didn't show you what the third vote. No, I don't do the next time on Survivor thing. So the talking head with Daniel being
voted for who? Because I had to go back and write this down.
Okay, hit me.
It was Hai and Lydia that voted Daniel.
Mike voted.
Hai and Lydia voted Daniel.
Mike voted Chanel?
Yeah.
I am so excited for next week's nighttime scene of them coming back from tribal. It's going to be so good because Mike's going to have it in with somebody, just like he had it with Daniel, where he's like, "You played me." And Daniel's like, "I didn't play you." And Mike's like, "Did you lie to me?" And Daniel's like, "Well, yeah." And he's like, "Then you played me. You played me." Like,
so do you think Chanel's gonna be obviously she's gonna be scrambling because she's the one that put the Mike vote out there. So she's gonna have to somehow get that heat off her.
well, here's the really interesting fact that I think they brought up during the challenge, but it's the point is driven home when it gets to the end is all tribes have 4 on each. It's 4 4 4.
Yes, they are.
It's
I'll be right there. I'm coming.
all good. So
I forgot my notes. Nope, can't find them. Never mind.
So the internet's full of spoilers. And I normally don't watch the Next Time on Survivor, but did you watch the Next Time on Survivor?
I did.
Okay. So let's get into a bit of so Daniel ended up going home. It really sucks. He was probably in our pre-show, like our Survivor preview. I think he was one of my kind of fingers crossed kind of Cochran picks, you know what I mean? Like he was a guy I wanted to have win it, but I was doubtful. So it always sucks when one of the fan favorites goes home. I felt the same way with JD last season. But let's get into the post show. You have something you need to say.
Do you remember what my predictions were last week?
I do not.
Oh,
I did not.
Okay.
I didn't write them down.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. I mean.
Oh, I got them.
Oh, okay.
I found it. Okay, I'm good. Okay, so I predicted that Ika would find the Beware Idol. Jack won.
Oh, that's right.
I predicted Mike says phrase if other phrases are said. 2.
What?
And I predicted Jeff will say drop your buffs.
Oh man. If you had got 3 for 3, that would have been epic.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I know.
The last one by 1 episode.
I've heard, not saying spoilers, because I'm gonna go back and probably after I finish this, this stream, I'm gonna watch the Next Time on Survivor. But I heard someone online ask if the hourglass is gonna come back.
Really?
Is that not shown in the Next Time on Survivor? Okay,
no.
So
what is shown is Jeff saying drop your buffs.
Okay, so I doubt they do one tribe of 12. There's no way they do one tribe of 12. It's split into 2.
Prediction.
It's definitely being split into 2. I'm going to make a bold prediction here. I think the hourglass is coming back next episode.
Okay, I'm writing down.
Because I saw rampant speculation online where it's like, oh, next week is the merge. Does that mean the hourglass twist is coming back? And in my head, I'm like, dear God, no, that twist sucks. But they did it. They did it in the last season during the merge. So who is this season's Erica? And will he or she smash the hourglass? Right? Okay. Like, because I think it's going to go to 2 tribes. Same thing as last season, merge feast. Someone's going to go to exile, have to live for a day, and then decide to smash the hourglass or not. Okay. I don't know who it'd be. I'm actually hoping it's Jonathan. Jonathan, bold prediction. Said it. Jonathan.
Jonathan by himself?
Yes, is going to smash the hourglass.
Jonathan. Oh, right, because you're doing the... Okay, I have predictions. My first one, I agree with you. 2 tribes. I do not think there is going to be an hourglass issue because the tribes are even. Okay. It's 4, 4, and 4. So I'm pretty sure they're going to go 6 and 6.
Okay.
I think it's going to be random. I think that Lydia, Hai, and Drea wind up on the same team because they all have the amulets.
Oh, that's a bold prediction. I would love to see all the amulets on one team and have them all eat each other. I would love that.
I know. So I'm gonna. My second prediction is going to be amulets are together.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3 is going to be. One of these days, I'll get organized with my notes. Oh, there we are. Okay. My prediction is that, okay, with that theory that the amulets are together, I think that,
it looks on my screen like you've got just paper spread out all over your desk and you're scanning through crime scene photos or something like that.
I do. I watch a lot of CSI. And
gotcha.
I'm old school. Okay. I'm going to make a really, really, really. I think Drea's going to go home.
That is a bold prediction. That knocked me back in my chair. That was so bold. What?
Yep, that's what I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, could you imagine going home with an extra vote in your pocket with a, oh man. That'd be bold. That'd be bold. Okay.
Well,
so
I think
so my 3 predictions would be Jonathan ends up smashing the hourglass, or at least gets sent to Exile Island, whatever. Next bold prediction, Omar and Jonathan get split up in the merge.
Ooh.
And then we're gonna go. I'm gonna go. My third bold prediction, and I know these are all Taku based. You can kind of tell who my favorite tribe is, but I'm gonna guess all of Taku land on one tribe. Omar, like Omar and Jonathan could get split up, but Omar, Jonathan, Lindsay, and Marianne on the same tribe after a merge. That's money. That's money TV right there. Or just put Marianne with anybody and watch everyone else freak out about her. But yeah. Like Marianne can go anywhere. As long as Marianne, I've always said it, like I can't remember if I've said it before. I'm gonna have to review the footage. But I was like, I want Marianne to make it to the merge because the other 2 tribes need to experience her. Just need to.
No kidding, right?
Like, what do you think Roxroy is gonna say? Like, oh man. What do you think Mike's gonna say about her? What do you think? Oh, so many characters I want to see interact, like
I want to see Mike's talking head about Marianne.
Oh, I would pay a lot of money just to see that right now.
I know,
just come on. Okay, so again, I got to start coming up with graphics for all of these scenes, but final 3 choices. Who's your final 3? Has it changed at all?
Oh, shoot. Okay, flipping papers again. Oh, final 3. No, I still say Hai.
Yeah, Hai's in mine. Yeah.
Tori.
That's the only one I'm skeptical on. I think you have. Yeah.
And I'm going to go with Jonathan. Simply because I think he's going to win challenges.
I'll give my picks are essentially the exact same. Instead of Tori, I'm putting Mike. Ooh. I think Mike and Hai could be the Shannon Ricard of this season and go like all the way to almost Final Four until they kind of have to turn on each other. Like I think they're the Shannon Ricard where it's like we promise each other we'd always do this and we wouldn't be mad at each other. What?
Who's your dark horse?
Marianne.
Lydia.
You don't think if Marianne gets to final 3, doesn't the whole like jury just go, nah, just give it to her? She's annoying, but just she deserves it. You know what I mean? Like, I think she would. I don't know, Lydia.
That's my dark horse.
I would be more inclined to agree with you if I got more talking heads from Lydia until this episode. This is the most I've heard from Lydia.
Yeah, but remember they did that with Erica. They purple edited her for the longest time, and then all of a sudden she breaks the glass and boom, she's there all the time.
I hate how right you are, but you are right. That is very true. They could do it. They could do it.
They could do it.
So next week's title of the episode.
Oh. Do you know
what it is? Do you want to know what it is?
Okay. I do.
You can say it. You can say it.
No, I don't know. What is it?
Oh, you can't hide on Survivor.
Okay. And also, it's 2 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Double elimination?
I don't know, but it's 2 hours. Now
okay.
that's got to do.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna make this episode larger, and we're gonna predict the 2 people getting eliminated. We're gonna do this right now. It's gonna be.
Know what I think?
Hold on. It's gonna be. Oh shoot. Okay, it's gonna be Lydia and Marianne. I hope not, but Lydia and Marianne are my 2 picks. If there's a double elimination like next week, let's add this to my bold predictions.
Okay, wait. Oh, okay. I'm adding a bold one.
Okay.
Prediction?
Yeah.
Is that they're going to split into 2 tribes.
Yeah.
In the second half of the show, the actual merge happens.
Oh, they're going to throw a fast one on that? Where it's like, you're all living on the same beach. And Jeff's like, wait, did I say merge? Who said merge? I didn't say merge. And everyone's like, Jeff.
No, I think they're going to do both. I think they're going to swap the tribes. And then before the episode ends, they are actually going to merge. That's what I think.
Okay, so what you're telling me is I definitely have to do some sort of graphic for next week's stream talking about predictions, because that's almost my favorite part of the episodes now when we do this podcast is just the bold predictions. Like so much, it'd be cool if they did this or if they did that. Like, it's great.
Hey, I had 3 and I only missed the 3rd one by 1 episode. So
I didn't get a single one. I got to start writing these down. Maybe I'm right more often than not.
Yeah.
Okay, so tune in next week, Sunday, for You Can't Hide on Survivor. You can't. I mean, there's a lot of bushes, but I mean, not gonna lie, the idols seem to find a way to hide just fine. But
do they not?
People are bigger. We all know this. We will be back next week. Leave comments down below if you agree with me or disagree with my mom. See, I told you I'd bring it back.
Like and share.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, share. Tell us, tell your friends about how I'm right. And no, I'm not going to keep doing it again. Okay. But yeah, anything you have left to say, Mom?
No. If anybody else has any bold predictions, let us know.
Oh, I would be curious.
I would too.
I'm trying to think of the boldest one I can think of. Jeff unzips his skin suit and is an alien. That's the best I got off the top of my head.
Jeff gets a haircut.
Sorry, that made me really laugh. Jeff gets a haircut. He really does. He needs one. He's wearing the hat too much. I mean, I don't know what he's talking about.
No.
See you guys next week.